10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now tuned.
If you have a request or shout out, hit us up live in the studio. And now your host.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a smashing and a super excited new season of Let's Talk Showbiz live here on Brand Live. And a happy Valentine's Day to all those lovebirds. Valentine's Day, which was yesterday, just saying, if you missed it. I'm your host, Nico Barnard, and next to me is my friend and co-host, Shantae Raz.
Yes, a happy belated Love Day, although every day is Love Day, if you know what I mean. A very good morning to all our fantastic local and international listeners. Welcome to the Season 2 launch episode of Let's Talk Showbiz. We are excited to be back and have a superb season lined up for you with all the great entertainment, fun, and some excellent and awesome guests in studio. But let me not give away too much just yet.
Yes! Remember, if you missed any of our episodes or the entire season 1, you can catch up on any of the previous episodes for season 1, which is available as podcast on our YouTube channel, including the very epic and fun, awesome bonus episode which aired last week, featuring an in-house sesh with an inside scope looking at the behind-the-scenes world of Let's Talk Showbiz.
Shout out to Andipe and Alvira.
Oh, that was such an awesome
It was
episode,
very
though.
good. Season 1 brought a spectacular season as we were honored to have so many amazing people in studio with us, from Natalie Delport, a woman of many talents, and film's very own Wonder Woman, wink wink nudge nudge, to Josh Middleton, the muso ninja that just toured Europe all the way to Australia's ABBA and Tina Turner, and the film directors and producers Patrick and George Garcia, as well as actor Clayton Boyd.
Yes, and we also had Richard Gow, acclaimed theatre actor and film star in studio. We had the voice singer Armand Joubert, who sprung to fame since his participation in The Voice SA Season 2. And we had celebrity photographer Francois Olivier, who, by the way, was the awesome photographer that took the photos for our Season 2 pictures and the launch of Season 2. Shout out to Frana. As well as the award-winning director and choreographer Wesley Lauder that we had in studio. It was an awesome season.
Ha! It was a hot season with some amazing headlines and features, and we are bringing you even more this season with new entertainment, more fun, and more guests. We are going bigger and better, so stay tuned. For the new listeners, be sure to follow our Facebook page at Let's Talk Showbiz, where we post updates and news of every episode to keep you in the loop of what's lit in our industry.
And also feel free to tag us at Let's Talk Showbiz in your post to share any new and upcoming events in the industry. We would love to hear from you, that is locally or internationally.
Yes. Kicking off the season, we have an awesome artist in studio with us today, all the way from the US. We are excited to welcome singer and songwriter Ashlinn Gray to the studio.
But before we jump into the exciting interview, let's take a look at what's hot in the industry locally and internationally. The nominees for the 54th Annual Fleer the Cup Theatre Awards have been announced. This year's ceremony will take place at the Artscape Opera House in Cape Town on Sunday, the 10th of March 2019.
Yes, it is set to be a celebration of vintage theatre and wines. The annual award programs is regarded as one of the most valued and prestigious in South Africa regarding the performance art industry. For more than 50 years, the Fleer the Cup wine brand has been making award-winning wines, and this quality is proudly expressed through its association with the Fleer the Cup Theatre Awards. So check out our Facebook page to find out the list of nominees, including multiple nominated Matilda, as well as Calling Us Home, two of our favorite productions that we actually featured on the show in Season 1. Yeah!
Congratulations, guys. He was white. She was not.
Oh.
And they broke the law to dance. Yes. Lang Arm is the latest musical created by the award-winning David Kramer. This proudly South African brand new David Kramer musical, produced and presented by Eric Abraham at the Fugard Theatre, is currently showing. Lang Arm is a story of love and intrigue set in the story world of Cape Town's ballroom dance cultures in the 1960s. Soki.
Okay. Meanwhile, the tribute show of the everlasting legend that is Michael Jackson, played by Michael Jonathan, is at the Roodepoort Theatre, displaying performances from the 14th of February to the 13th of June.
The
Go
scene
watch
is
it.
set when a group of people gathered in a guest house, Monkswell Manor, and cut off by the snow discover, to their horror, that there is a murder in the mist. Who can it be?
Dum dum dum. One by one, the suspicious characters reveal their sordid pasts until at last, the nerve-shredding moment, the identity and the motive are finally revealed. Starring West End star Mark Winter with Malcolm Terry, Michelle Maxwell, Melissa Hayden, Shannon Fury, Aidan Scott, Mark Sykes, and Matthew Lotter. Peter Turin's new staging is directed by Jonathan Tafler, who is an actor himself, appearing in Carry On Columbus and Yentl, and has played the role of Mr. Paravicini in the St. Martin's production of The Mousetrap on the West End.
Yep, suspect everyone. Book your seats today. The Mousetrap is running from Thursday the 24th, has been running from Thursday the 24th of January 2019 till Sunday the 3rd of March 2019 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday.
I suspect you.
I suspect me too.
It's like Cluedo, man. And it... Dude. And in the world of music, the Grammys was last week, and what a surprising turnout. 61st
Yeah.
solemn ceremony of American Recording Academy Grammy 2019 was held in LA just a couple of days ago. Of course, many celebrities visited it, and there were some results that were almost entirely unexpected.
Yep, definitely.
Exciting.
There were some expecting awards. Won't say.
Yeah?
The awards were presented to nominees in 84 different categories
Cool.
of the music industry. The ceremony will be remembered due to many interesting points. Grammy 2019's gathered famous stars of the music industry who competed for the statuettes in various categories, such as the Best New Artist, which was taken by Dua Lipa.
Yes.
The Best Rap Album, which went to Cardi B for her album Invasion of
cool.
Privacy. And of course, the Best Pop Duo Group Performance, which went to Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper for Shallow. And
Aren't
so
you
much
happy
more.
about that?
Of course. Rooting all the way for Miss Gaga.
Lady Gaga also took home the Grammy for the Best Pop Solo Performance for Joanne, Where Do You Think You're Going? And Best Pop Vocal Album went to Ariana Grande for her album Sweetener. A full list of the winners will be posted on our Facebook page, together with a link to go watch the full Grammys in case you missed it and couldn't stay awake until 3 a.m.
I couldn't.
Shame on you.
Speaking about Gaga, she is having a very big moment right now.
Cool.
In addition to starting her Las Vegas residency, yes, the
What?
pop singer made her leading lady debut in Bradley Cooper's directional debut, As We Know, A Star Is
Yeah.
Born. Gaga has also taken home a SAG award for her performance and has even been nominated for the Best Actress award this year at the Academy Awards, not to mention the Grammy that she just took.
Yep.
But I think what's very interesting is that she's been very open about how the nerves on set has affected her, especially during the first few days of production on A Star Is Born. So Eric Roth, who wrote the script for the musical drama alongside Bradley Cooper, recently reviewed in a conversation that he had with Gaga, saying that in the early process of the whole production, she actually said that it was Cher that helped her inspire Ali Main.
Wow.
That's so cool.
Sure. And for those crazy and fun ones, Andre the Hilarious Hypnotist is celebrating a record-breaking 26 years on stage as South Africa's very own convener of the strange, weird and wonderful by returning to the Peter Turin's Theatre at Monte Casino for another hilarious season until the 24th of March.
In the world of film and television, normally the weekly box office results are foregone conclusion. There's usually one or two major films released on any given weekend, perhaps with a couple of smaller entries, and those who estimate what the numbers will look like have gotten it pretty good at being right.
Yeah, usually,
Yeah.
However, for the first time in its very long run, we're going to have a real race for the number one spot at the box office this weekend, as 3 films race for the top spot, which were all predicted to do about the same amount of business. This weekend sees Happy Death Day to You. Isn't it romantic? And also one of my favorite coming up, Alita Battle Angel, all opening in theaters. Oh,
Yes.
Alita.
You excited for
It's
that?
like based on a game.
Oh, I saw it. It
It's
looks
like semi-cyborg.
Is it am I correct? I might be wrong. Am I correct that it got like an anime feel to it? Or
Yes,
not?
yes,
Am I right?
definitely.
Okay,
Yes.
I saw some. And finally, some exciting news, even though it veers away from the film and television industry. On Tuesday, the 12th of February 2019, Ambassador of France to South Africa, H.E. Mr. Christophe Fernand, will bestow on South African playwright Mr. Brent Bailey the award the Knight in Order of the Arts letter on behalf of the French President Emmanuel Macron at the Granary Bay Hotel School Restaurant in Moiley Point, Cape Town.
Brett Bailey is a South African playwright, designer, director, and installation maker, and the artistic director of the performance company Third World Bunfight. South Africa citizens who have been awarded the order are Johnny Clegg in 1991, William Kentridge in 2013, Gregory Makoma in 2017, and Zanele Moholi in 2017.
A very, very congratulations from all of us in South Africa to Brett Bailey for this awesome achievement.
Yeah.
And there you have it, guys. Another great session of what's hot locally and internationally for 2019.
Oh, man.
Keep up to speed with your weekly dose of news and entertainment right here on Let's Talk Showbiz every Friday from 11:30 till 12:30. You're always welcome to tag us at Let's Talk Showbiz on any media regarding industry gems and upcoming events.
Yes, please do. Or invite us to your shows and premieres, events, or productions as we constantly try to promote local talent in South Africa as well as internationally. Also, feel free to tag us in your Instagram stories or posts to feature on our pages and Instagram feeds, whether you are attending a show or part of a show. We would love to hear from you all the same.
We will be taking a short break, and when we return, we will be diving into our favorite segment of the show with our guest here in studio, Ashlinn Gray. Stay tuned. Here is a cover song of Smile, launched last week at the Rada Re-Inspired launch, done by Ashlinn herself. Have a listen.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by if you smile through your fear and sorrow. Smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Light up your face with gladness. Hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Smile. Come on, smile. That's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Though your heart is aching, smile even though it's breaking. Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. Just smile. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you just smile. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you just smile.
And welcome back. You are tuned in with us here on Let's Talk Showbiz. Joining us in studio is Ashlinn Gray.
Hello, everyone.
Woo!
So, Ashlinn, the edgy artist Ashlinn Gray, South African-born singer-songwriter, plays the light and dark sides of her struggle for the truth and authenticity.
That's why I put it in there, for you to just
For me,
You'll
just to
miss
Stumble
go
a
and
lot,
mess
you
up.
know?
You know, all I'm going to say is hashtag South African artist. Yes.
Well, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, welcome. We're going to give a quick little brief bio of our beautiful artist in studio just to give you a scope for anybody who might not know her. You're crazy if you don't. The adolescence is a tricky maze in a world that dictates how we are to behave, dress, talk, and live. Too often we succumb to the pressure of the naysayers and the haters. Ashlinn Gray, however, is here to make her mark. As a charismatic and unapologetic artist, Gray explores the intersection of owning one's power and the vulnerability of taking risks.
Now, Ashlinn began to write her first song at the age of 16 and released her self-titled debut EP along with her first single, hashtag Battleships, which made the iTunes top 40 and dominated the airwaves, charting on the top stations across South Africa. Her release of hashtag Need Your Love with Dr. Bone, produced by Sketchy Bongo, was a Coke Studio ZA hit, and Gray's pop single hashtag 19 charted on 5FM and Jacaranda, two of South Africa's largest national radio stations, as well as came fourth in an international songwriting competition. Wow.
Damn. Her last single, hashtag Finding Home, from the Radar Unearthed album 1, a charity close to her heart, also charted on Jacaranda, as well as her international collaboration with Clark Cable's hashtag Work For Me, receiving 350k views on YouTube. The 21-year-old has now made a move to the US, where she has recorded hashtag STFU and performed shows at famous venues such as the Hotel Cafe.
Her latest single, which we released right here on Let's Talk Showbiz in our 11th episode of Season 1, with an epic sneak peek STFU produced by Abe Detner in LA, the USA, is that right?
Yeah,
Abe
Abe Dirtner, he was fantastic.
It's a mix of rock and pop and hip-hop. It's highly unpredictable, it's harsh and unforgiving, but her magnetic vocals provide a fragment of hope and familiarity. What's up with my tongue today?
Familiarity?
It's like it's way too early and I have had not too much coffee.
Not enough. We need some
And then-
more. Where is it?
Anyways, the innocence of her youth navigating their way through life's hurdles and the tricky task of establishing one's identity.
Yeah, we actually almost released a sneak peek in our previous, I think it was our 11th episode. As
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just said.
Season 1.
And it was actually, it's not wrong. It's a complete merge of different fusions.
Which is amazing.
Different
So
genres.
cool.
Very different to your Smile song.
Yeah,
So
well, I
it's
mean,
awesome to
Smile is
see
a
your
cover
range.
song. Do you know, I did competitions growing up, so you kind of had to go in all these different styles and genres. So we were doing musical theatre to jazz to rapping. I did a rap song once, yeah. That's why it's like the influence is coming through a bit. But I think that's where it comes from. I experienced so many different genres from a young age.
So it's all influenced you
So
in your music making.
I decided to just bring it into the song and go a bit crazy.
Well, welcome today. Thank you so much for making some time and coming through and joining us here in studio for our Season 2 premiere.
This is very exciting.
So how does it feel to be back in Josie?
Amazing. I mean, I'm really glad that the weather's playing up for me because I don't love the heat too much and it's nice and cloudy outside.
Same.
So I'm very, very happy that the weather's happy with me, and it's so nice to see all my friends and family again and be back on African soil. I'm very happy.
So when last were you here? So how long were you here in the US before you actually came back? It's been months, a year?
Yeah, 5 months.
5 months.
5
okay.
months,
not
yeah.
even
So I
that
try to
long.
come back every, couple of months to 6
Help.
months.
Definitely helps, I think.
Definitely,
get rid of
yeah.
us.
Well, I don't want to get rid of South Africa. I love it.
Yeah.
Now, Ashlinn, you wrote your first song at the age of 16. Wow. How did the entire journey start for you?
It all started with my sister. She was a natural born singer and she wanted to go to a singing lessons. So I decided, okay, I want to go with. And I was really bad. So I decided that I wanted
What?
to get...
You?
I
Bad?
really,
What?
I was really bad. Like my pitch was terrible. I just wasn't naturally... I was more musically inclined than a natural singer. And then started doing competitions. And as I got better, I decided I wanted to go through with it as a career. And then at church, my church leader said, hey, let's write some music together. And if you're serious about it, let's release it.
Oh, that's
And then I had a whole lot
amazing.
of mentors help me get to the point of getting out onto 947, which was my big break.
Oh,
Wow.
So that's my whole story of how it began.
I think you even in the song mentioned that like your sister was better than me.
Exactly, because she is. She is. She's still better than me.
Yeah, man. I think you just got your own thing going.
Yeah, that's why I mess around all the genres together, because
Awesome.
well, that's cool.
that's how we make it work, you know?
Your first single, hashtag Battleship, dominated the airwaves and charted on top stations in South Africa, not to mention the iTunes Top 40. How was the experience and this achievement for you?
It was exciting because, I mean, I didn't really know until my friends started sending me screenshots of iTunes when I was in the trending list. And then I was all of a sudden in that top 40. I think it went to like 32 or something, which for most people is like, oh, you know, you're not in the top 10, so it doesn't really mean anything. But for your first single,
Yeah, I mean, if
like,
you're
oh
in the
my-
top 40.
how cool is that? And it was all because at that moment on the Breakfast Club Express on 947, that's when everybody started tuning in because of Wackhead.
Yeah.
And still
Mr.
get people
Simpson.
today saying, hey, you know that first time your song played on radio, I was listening that day.
Oh, that's so cool.
And that whole experience is just so, it's
I think
really lovely
It's
to know your hard
definitely an
work pays off.
achievement. It's definitely an achievement being on the top 40. I mean, just look at numbers 41 and 42. They weren't on the list.
I know, right? Look, I could have been there.
No, but well done.
But you weren't.
Thank
And
goodness.
we all can know why, just listening to your song. I mean, actually, you know, when we, our 11th episode, I literally went home and we were having a pizza evening that night with regards to an event. And I walked past the security guard and he was playing music on his phone. And I just heard STF.
No ways.
And I was like,
For real?
sure. And then,
No
I was like,
ways.
you know, feeling myself like we released it on our episode on our radio station, and
On
like
our
we
radio
fly. I wanted to go to him and like I know her,
That is
sort
so
of.
cool. Oh
but
my
I didn't because that's weird.
Well, you do. I mean,
Now I do.
yeah. Oh my goodness. That makes me
It
really
was for
happy.
real.
Wow.
Like I literally had like a trace back moment of. Did I just? Yee.
Now, you see, you managed to get that previous question so perfectly because the thing about the difference between me and Shantae is she speaks elegantly and slowly.
Oh, do I?
And then I come
Thank you, lad.
and I come and I just try and rush everything off because I speak so fast. Anyways, hashtag Need Your Love with Dr. Bone, produced by Sketchy Bongo, was a Coke Studio SA hit. Tell us more about that.
Well, Coke Studios is a TV show that was happening about a year or two back, and they get two artists from different backgrounds and genres to collaborate on a song that really merges those genres and styles. And I got to work with Sketchy Bongo as the producer and Dr. Bone as the rapper, and it was such a cool experience because I'd never done anything like that, especially working with someone who also wrote in a different language. That for me was really exciting because you get to experience a whole different side
Yeah,
to
of
music.
course.
I often listen even to French music because I find that it just, you don't need to know what they're saying, but you can just feel it. So the experience with Coke Studios was really cool because we got to do all of this with such high production and such a great team behind us. And what was really crazy about it is that we had to write it in 48 hours. So we had to write and produce the song in 48 hours.
I've heard that term.
48 hour films. Hashtag.
Oh yeah, right? I mean, okay,
We should
film and
totally
music,
have a music competition that has the make a few hits in.
it would be
48
fantastic.
hours.
A lot of artists do that to push themselves. 'cause
And by
we're
the way,
slow.
if you heard that idea, Let's Talk Showbiz has the copyright and IP for that.
Dum, dum, dum.
Don't get an
We're
idea.
patenting it. We're
Now.
starting it now. Actually, I want to ask you. Was it intentional to do the hashtags with regards to your song titles? Was it for movement purposes or?
It was more like if you're reading my bio, and hashtags always stand out, right? Because we're in this age of
It's
social
promotional.
media and promotion. So as soon as you look at my bio or whenever you see
Yeah, all your
it
songs have the
anywhere
hashtag.
on the internet, you're gonna see that hashtag and you'll be like, okay, that's the song. Let's go search it.
Yeah,
That's actually really clever.
It's very good for promotion. Stands
Go
out.
copy me, guys. Do it. I don't mind. Let's all help each other.
So I know you briefly touched on this, but why did you choose the career of singing? Was there a defining moment or a long-growing passion?
It's funny because I always say to my music friends that I've never really loved music. If you ask me, could I live without music? Yeah, I could. Totally. I've had people say, what happens if you don't have music? Because you don't have a lot of friends. Because I'm a very small, I'm like a quiet person. And I'm like, I can do a lot of things. I'm cool with, if I had to lose my voice or my ears, I could figure it out. So for me, I think music is just that one thing that is so universal and that you can relate to other people. Because I love people. And that's the aspect of music that I really enjoy, is the conversation with others and the emotional transition with others that cannot usually be done in any other medium other than music. So I think it's the way of helping people that I really enjoy.
I think it's so amazing to hear. Now, we've had quite a few artists in studio with us in the previous season, and everyone has a different take on why they do it. You know, you'll get the person that will say, I do it because I love music and I love telling stories through music. And then you'll get someone that says it's the emotional drive behind music.
Or the person who says they saw a star doing it and then they just knew I
Yes.
wanted to be like that
Right.
person.
And then, like, in your case, you love people and you like working with people and
Yeah.
interacting with people, and that's your motivation behind it. It's so amazing to see the different sides and the different reasons why people are doing it, which is amazing. It's not the cliche over and over and over. I wanted to be famous. I wanted to be famous.
Oh yeah,
you know?
and at the end of the day, that only lasts so long. I think a lot of the time also around music, it's the creativeness. Like, I love being creative. I'm always creating random things at home, even, or if I can't afford something, I make a way to make it at home
I'm
out of
coming
things.
for coffee.
go for it. It's a lot. I just think, using your hands and using your mind to make something that wasn't there before is just so exciting.
Of course.
That's awesome.
So, if you didn't go into music, what
Yeah.
would have been your different
If you didn't have a choice
approach career?
to do music.
It would have been something creative and something business related.
Oh,
Because
I can see her in a business suit, but the women business suit, those
Yeah, like tight-fitting fashion.
oh yeah,
I can see you in a suit like
Gucci
I need
that.
to go buy some, guys.
and walking into a conference room and being like, okay,
Devil wear
let's do
Prada
this.
just without the
Right?
divas.
I love leading people. I think I've always been a natural born leader at school, so that's just been my position. Whenever
Were you a prefect?
I wasn't, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. School's an interesting topic for me. I wasn't ever sporty, so that always made an effect. And I stood up to the teachers quite a bit because sometimes teachers aren't always right, and I didn't like that. And I think they didn't like that either.
Well, you go. So now you've been in.
I think you're a pioneer.
Yes.
You know?
That's a great word. I like that one. I'm
Like,
gonna remember that
you
one.
stand for something. Well, right through your album, you can see your whole motivation with regards to writing songs is to stand for something the whole time.
Yeah,
which
and
is awesome.
hopefully that inspires other people to do the same. We need more people
I
standing.
can already see a little girl in class when a teacher talks to her, she talks back, "No, ma'am, I am a pioneer."
I hope she's right. I hope she's in the right then.
Yes. Now, you've been in the US for a while now. What is the American industry like compared to the South African industry, in your opinion?
I think it's pretty much the same. It's got more genres involved and more opportunities. That's probably the biggest difference. Is that
Internationally.
internationally they've got more venues to have performers perform at, and the fact that you can have Billie Eilish performing 2 miles away from you, which is what happened to me. I was driving and I saw Billie Eilish on the billboard outside this theater. I was like, what? How? You don't get that in South Africa. So
Your mind needs to just quickly.
And you would still have enough people attending your event.
oh yeah, of course.
Which
I mean,
is
it's
great.
just
Here
and they're
it's
playing
like
on weekdays.
you
It's
have
not
the
even the
top-notch
weekend.
people and your club is empty.
Right? And I think their culture is so focused around music that it's easy for them to start going up the ladder quicker. Whereas in South Africa, we've just got a bit of a slower industry. And I'm not saying it's worse because we've also got beautiful aspects to our industry
Of course.
that we're just so
I think we've just got more distinct markets.
more distinct markets, and we're really we're starting to collaborate more, and we're starting to create more of our own sounds, which LA is probably steering away from because everything kind of sounds the same a lot of the time. So there's something beautiful to be said about South Africa's industry. It's just it's similar in the sense that we're all doing the same thing. We've got lots of people creating music. There's the bottom, there's the top, there's the middle, there's the sharks. There's lots more sharks in LA as well, I must just say.
How do you feel that the South African music or cultures has influenced your music?
Well, obviously it's influenced it a lot since I've started here and I've written all my music here. I
But
think
in comparison to the Americas?
in comparison to America, I think America wants to push me a little bit more. The standard is a bit higher in a sense, so I do want to, you don't just stop at 65%. You could try to get to 70 and 75.
But is there like certain things in SA that you'll never let go of?
Always.
You know what I mean?
Always.
Because I found that South African artists who usually go abroad, they have an extra spark.
Always. Yeah. I think it's that South Africa has a lot of nostalgia around it. I don't know if you guys have the same feeling, but
Yeah.
our artists want to tell stories because of that. Our African heritage, we're storytellers. Around the fire, that's what would happen. All the stories we hear coming back to us, they weren't written down at first. They were first told, and then eventually they were painted on the walls. You know,
Yeah.
there was a whole process where in the Western culture, because they've advanced so quickly, that storytelling aspect has maybe fallen behind a bit. I mean, it's just a thought. I'm not saying I completely believe in it. I could be wrong. My mind could change, but that's the feeling I'm feeling right now.
I think it's also as much as like I would love to go there and also develop a music in the industry. The influence, because you know how music movements work. So musicians sort of move together, and if you're influenced by 8 artists are similar, then eventually you start sounding the same, because what you
Right.
listen to is what you sometimes project.
Yeah.
So I think because you said the music industry is larger, the movement as a whole moves the whole time into similar things. We're here, you don't know what Koos is doing in Cape Town.
Yeah. And Tabo's doing up in
Drakensberg.
yeah.
And then when you get together, you're just like, wow, what is this sound? Like, ding.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do, you know,
That's
hear
awesome.
what you're saying, because it's true that there's the nice parts of the South African industry, there's the nice parts of the US industry,
Yeah.
and it's just bigger there. But now
I would
speaking,
love to experience, even if I was just backstage, a crowd in an American situation.
oh yeah,
With
yeah,
regards
those
to
are
a
crazy,
performance. Also, like
Even
when
yeah.
they were talking about Singapore with the Queen or the
I was-
ABBA peeps,
it was the ABBA people
how
I was
they
just about
walk
to
in
say.
there and they sold out to participate,
And the
we're
people-
like, do we dance now?
But what's
Do we
funny
move?
is most international artists say we're some of the best crowds to perform to. So it's interesting that, you know, the American crowds do go crazy, but maybe that's too much. Maybe they just want interaction.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
probably.
'Cause,
No,
yeah.
you spoke about, you know, the US industry being so big and you enjoying it so much, and you made the move to USA where you recorded STFU, performed shows at the famous venues such as the Hotel Cafe. What other exciting things have been happening for you in the USA, and what other great performances have you done there?
Well, I've been doing quite a bit of writing, which is really cool. I've been meeting a lot of different artists, which is exciting because you get to meet a whole lot of different people. And I was actually staying with this Australian songwriter, which was really interesting and a completely different genre to me. And that was a different experience because, you know, coming from competition days, you're competitive with everyone. And I'm slowly letting go of that competitive part of myself because it's not about anyone else but, you know,
Your
yourself
music,
and your
yeah. Of
music.
course.
And I've been doing a lot of exploring. I've become a lot more adventurous. I say yes to a lot more things. And I've always been like that here, but there was more things to say yes to in LA. So I found myself going to a Hindu temple for certain celebrations and dressing up in a sari. Or I would find myself going to this dingy club but having the best time of my life. And, you know, you're sober as anything. You're gonna, it's just,
Yeah.
it's that experience of the energy around you that just
Yeah.
keeps you going.
Oh, well, that's good.
And next year I'm going to start, this year I'm going to start surfing. So I'm just like adding things to the list.
Let's go. You gonna send us a selfie or a
Once I get
picture?
it. Right?
Just not a selfie whilst you're on the surfboard.
No, you know
Oh,
what
no,
I mean.
no,
Someone's
no.
just gonna take
Yeah.
a photo when she hits the board for the first time and stands.
Right.
We're gonna post it.
And
Yeah,
then I'm going to be
post-
performing at the study soon, which is really cool. It's a really nice, it's kind of like a library vibe that they have this cool stage with. And the Viper Room, I'm hopefully going to be getting into soon. So there's a lot of cool things up in
So
the
for
vision.
those American listeners out there, you heard where she will be. Keep a lookout on her social media.
In the press release, it said her magnetic and clean vocals provide the listener with something familiar, the innocence of youth. This juxtaposed against the harsh, unforgiving production speaks beautifully to the challenges and rough edges of discovering oneself, formulating one's identity, and navigating the world as a young woman. What challenges have you yourself faced in life, building your career as an artist, especially as a female artist?
I think starting from when I was young, I've always been a bit of an outsider because I kind of go with my own beats and I do my own thing and I stand up for people, even if people don't like me for that. So that kind of way of living life has made me look at things differently, and that perspective has come through my music quite a bit in saying, don't listen to the haters, don't listen to the naysayers. I'm doing my thing and you can do your thing and we can do it together and we can encourage and support each other through doing that. And going forward, I think the other things that have really influenced me as an artist, I think being a female in the industry can be tough. It definitely can. It's filled with lots of males, and a lot of the time you get some weird ones that want to have more than just a song with you, and that's not cool. I've had a few experiences with that, and I don't think it's right, and I'm fully here to stand up for it, and I'm fully down for the Me Too movement because I think it's so important, especially with it happening more and more as the years go on. We've seen an increase in rape and an increase in sexual assault. So that obviously affects the way that I want to be a strong and empowering woman rather than someone who just sings love songs, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I've chosen to take a stand against that stuff and rather empower women and men to stand against that kind of culture.
Oh, that's great. I really like that.
Yeah.
So, with the amazing work that you're currently doing and your fast-growing career, how do you stay humble or keep yourself grounded, especially since it's rather easy to get lost in it all with all the various different industry cultures and the celebrity notions and all that jazz? How do you...
I always say family and team are two of the most important things when it comes to career, to keep you humble and to keep you on the ground, and to remind you that your voice is not necessarily yours. It's a God-given talent or a God-given skill, and at the end of the day it can be taken away from you in a second. You can lose your voice, and we've all experienced this where, you know, we have a sports game and all of a sudden we have a leg cramp or we've broken a leg and we can't do what we're good at, and then what are we? So we have to remember everything's given to us or borrowed to us, and it's our responsibility to use it to the best of our ability when we use it. So the ego, it often comes into play because we are human, but having the right people around you helps keep that tamed and keeps reminding you that, listen, you're just a human being that's a vessel at the moment. So
I'm glad that
be
you
humble.
I'm glad that you actually admitted that sometimes it happens. The ego sometimes comes.
Of
We're
course,
human.
of
'Cause
course, to everyone.
We've had where we've asked the question, then it's like no, like family keeps me grounded. Like at least you say that. Listen, I'm human. It happens. Like
Yeah,
it
well,
happens.
What I love is that you mentioned earlier that if you couldn't sing, your life would go on. You know what I mean?
yeah, of course.
It's not that you're not appreciating your talent, because while you have it, you're nurturing it, which is fabulous.
I think so.
But
too.
the fact that even though, like most of us, including myself, your craft becomes your identity,
Mm-hmm.
and you're using your identity to build your craft,
Yeah.
which is just something cool that I just picked up on now.
I think it's something that we almost need to learn because we grow up thinking it the other way around. And I've started thinking,
Yes.
do you know what? We can all do a whole lot of different things really well. And everything takes a little bit of practice. Apparently, the whole 10,000 rule isn't real. It's only 20 hours of fully focused time that you spend on that skill, and you could become really good at it. And I think that that's what it actually comes down to, is that you could actually be good at anything at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If you really
If you just
want to
pay
work hard at it and really want to get it done, you can do it. So if music's just one of those things, there's a whole lot of other things I can go explore and do tomorrow or the next day.
Well, speaking about loved ones, anyone special in your life?
Yes, there is. I've had a wonderful man in my life for a very long time, 6 years, nearly 6 years. I can't say 6
wow.
years.
Well done.
Yeah, we were best friends, and then best friends turned into lovers, and now we're like inseparable.
Shout out to who?
Brandon.
Hi, Brandon.
Brandon. So, and you know what? I always say this, and I'm going to say it again. It's so important for people in the industry, in this industry specifically, to have someone in your life that you can not only count on and rely on, but someone that supports you, that loves you for who you are, that understands. There's going to be long nights and early hours.
Oh, yes.
There's going to be cranky moments. There's going to be a lot of time away from home. And if they understand that and support that, and if you support each other, because I mean, a relationship is a two-way street. And I always say it's so, so important. So it's so exciting to hear that you've got someone in your life that are there for you, that are supporting you, and it's been going 6 years strong. Well done,
Thanks.
Brandon.
Well,
well
I mean,
done,
I feel
man.
bad for him. I would never date a musician. That is for sure. Never. I would never recommend anyone to date a musician. It is not fun.
Hush, don't tell them.
It really isn't. It isn't. Our life can be tough. I don't think people realize it. It's long hours. I mean, often I only go to bed at 5 in the morning. It's just one of those things. And if someone can understand that, then they're an amazing human being.
Exactly. Well done, Brandon. So, what advice would you give to people who are venturing into the industry, which is a demanding industry, like we just said, and have to balance life and work and social life and relationships all together?
I think the best thing is to be authentic, because if you are truly who you are and you're putting out something that's relatable to the experience you're going through, that you'll never go wrong, and combining that with hard work is the only way that you're actually going to get somewhere and be successful. So a lot of the time I think we want to be what's trending, and I don't think that works at the moment in the culture that we're in. People want something that they go, oh, she's speaking the truth. He's speaking the real. They always say the real in America, apparently.
Real.
He's being real, So authenticity and hard work will always get you to where you want to be. And that combined with good quality people around you, as in the team that you work with, as in the people that you surround yourself with.
Your family.
Yeah. I mean, my one of my rules that I live with in life is I only surround myself with people that inspire me in some different way. They can inspire me to be a better person, to work harder, to maybe be a little bit harder on other people and myself. They just have to inspire me in some sort of way. And if they stop inspiring me, I need to ask myself, is this person worth spending time with? And is this person worth having in my life? And they're important questions to ask.
Amen. I like that a lot.
We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we will hear more from Ashlinn about her scope of the industry and her involvement in a movement close to her heart, RADA Inspired. If you have any questions for our guest, feel free to inbox us on our Facebook page at Let's Talk Showbiz, and we will ask them after the break.
Cool. And in the meantime, in case you missed it previously, here is Ashlinn's latest single, STFU.
My Gucci jeans are made you nasty. You be saying my name, you be saying the straight, you be throwing some shade. My Gucci jeans are made you nasty. STFU, stop all the little things you say to my friends, 'cause you know they will show me you're rewriting my story. I heard you've been buzzing some dirt on my name. I'm laughing because you be digging your grave. You should be more cautious. Go back to kindergarten. I'm hustling this game, just trying to make it. You don't know half of the shit you're taking. You should pay attention. Maybe learn a lesson. You be saying my name. You be saying my straight. You be throwing some shade. My Gucci jeans are made you nasty. You be saying my name. You be saying my straight. You be throwing some shade. My Gucci jeans are made you nasty. STFU, stop all the little things you say to my friends, 'cause you know they will show me you're rewriting my story. I'm tired of you messing with my ADD. STFU, really gotta find something better to do. You be saying my name, you be saying my straight, you be throwing some shade. My Gucci jeans are made you nasty. STFU, stop all the little things you say to my friends, 'cause you know they will show me you're rewriting my story. STFU, STFU, STFU. You be saying my name, you be saying my square, you be throwing some shade. My Gucci jeans are made you nasty. STFU.
Harnessing the power of talk radio. Brandlive.co.za. Making a bold statement yet blending into the surrounding suburbs of Melville, 27 Boxes is a realization of edgy design and practical implementation. A radical departure from the shopping malls of our generation, yet not a return to the high streets of our youth. 27 Boxes showcases the best of a shopping centre set in a garden, surrounded by the bohemian suburb that is Melville. 27 Boxes, shop, play, eat.
Have you ever thought about the power of social media? Social media has the power to make your business grow. Grow! Yeah. Why don't you let us manage your social media? Because our business is to see your business grow. Visit us at www.bstarmedia.co.za.
And welcome back to Let's Talk Showbiz, the season 2 premiere. In studio with us, we have the South African-born singer and songwriter Ashlinn Gray, who recently relocated to the US to further her career. And you've just listened to her brand new single, SDFU.
How amazing is that single, though?
What?
We're just jamming here. Dun, 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 dun. If you were in studio, you'd see me dance, and you know. In a press release, it stated that the new single, which was produced by Abe Dirtner in LA, USA, is a mix of rock, pop, and hip hop. It is highly unpredictable, harsh, and unforgiving, but her magnetic vocals provide a fragment of hope and familiarity. The innocence of youth navigating their way through life's hurdles and a tricky task of establishing one's identity. What was the motivation behind this song?
I really wanted to say that you have to be who you are, and if people have something to say about that and it's negative, they need to do them, and you can do you at the end of the day. You do you.
You do you, boo.
Sit down, shut up, be humble.
You do you, boo.
Because we all know what STFU stands for, unless you're like, I want to say 40 years and older, because I've had a few people say it's spelling out stuff, which it definitely isn't. It definitely means shut up in a very
Well,
bad
if
way.
they think it says stuff, then maybe it's
I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
Go back to school. No, I'm just kidding. But it's all about owning yourself and who, and your vision and your path and what you're doing in life.
You do you.
As mentioned earlier, you said not wanting to succumb to the pressure of the naysayers, the haters. Gray is making her mark once and for all, taking a defiant stand, and above all else, taking a risk. Have you had to face a lot of that naysayers and haters in life, and what did you do to overcome and persevere forward?
I definitely have. I think we all have. We've all been in situations where people have disapproved what we're doing, what we're wearing, what we're saying, and I think it takes a bit of self-reflection to say, okay, do I want to be this person who does, says, behaves in that way? And if it's a yes, then it makes me happy. Why should I listen to someone else? If it's a no, then maybe I should reevaluate what I'm doing.
Yes.
So that's kind of the way I've lived life, and only now have I decided to put it out into song form, and hopefully people get the inspiration to not succumb to peer pressure, because that's horrible. I mean, it happens, even in our older years. We always feel like we need to do something that someone else is doing to be cool, and it's not the case. Sometimes standing out, or a lot of the time standing out, is the best way to attract good attention, which is what humans are often after, right?
Hashtag Lady Gaga. So you are involved in an amazing campaign, which I absolutely adore, RADA Inspired. Tell us more about how you got involved, and also to the listeners that don't know, what is RADA?
So RADA stands for Rape, Alcohol, Drug Abuse, and it's an organization that is a NGO, I think, or NPO. I don't know the difference, but it's a non-profit
NPO,
organization.
NGO.
One of those, and it's all about bringing the community together and empowering the community. And they have a whole lot of different aspects. They've got a RADA healing side, a RADA music side, and I'm involved in both when it comes to the organization. And what they do through the music side is get artists to perform their own new songs as well as covers for the RADA Inspire, and that's used in order to inspire other people to live their best lives and be the best versions of themselves, and also inspire them to get through the struggles that they're facing. And through that, they're also able to create a lot more awareness and get to a lot more communities, because of, we're on radio right now. This can be heard anywhere across the world. Also, music is such a universal language that anyone can hear this and be inspired to do something good. You can have a bad day, put a good song on, and think, okay, I can get through today. I feel bad, but now I feel like I can conquer it.
No, I remember being at the RADA Inspired relaunch last week, and it was absolutely amazing seeing what they've accomplished in 10 months, because it's a 10-month campaign, right, every year.
Yes.
So I was just absolutely blown away by the difference that they're making and how they're contributing to the community and just going out there and making a difference. It's something that's very close to my heart. It's something that I really, really, really adore and appreciate.
That's what's so beautiful about South Africa, actually, is that we take time to look at the community and help the community. Small things are just saying thank you to our service.
Exactly. Community.
It's everything. It's what holds us together.
I just saw it now as well, just going a little bit off topic, you speaking about community. I saw how the community just stood together with the whole incident that happened last week in Vereniging, and there was this big movement campaign, and they raised over R1 million
I mean,
in a
it's
day.
crazy. I mean, how much money is that? And if you think about it, it's not a lot of money if each person's putting something small towards it. And that doesn't have to be money. It could just be time. It could just be a little smile
amazing.
or hug to someone. It could be anything.
Yeah. Now, you were also involved in the song We Stand Together. I love that song. It featured over 30 plus something artists. How was the journey and the process of that whole thing, and how did it feel to be part of something so great?
It was very exciting because all of these artists we've been looking up to since like a young age, and some of these artists have been growing with me. I actually know a lot of the artists, and they're good friends of mine. So to be able to do such a great and huge collaboration on a song that had so much meaning behind it says so much. It's almost a milestone in my career and my life to be a part of something so big. And because there were so many artists involved, it has such a huge reach. So to know that RADA and us as artists could use that opportunity to create goodness and happiness and inspire other people, I think it's just so beautiful. It's just truly South African. That's the only way I can describe it. It's
amazing.
South African to its core.
Yeah, it's absolutely inspiring how much music can be an outlet for so many people and how it can shape so many impactful things and, you know, a person's take on circumstances in life. And I love that RADA is using music as their tool to do the work that they do. How, you know, like how they continue to inspire, and that they're intentional with their actions to inspire.
And it's unique. I mean, we obviously have a few organizations in South Africa that do this, but they're really just going full steam ahead. And that's beautiful to show that they have so much faith in the music industry and music and how it impacts people's lives.
Of course, no, definitely. So your single Finding Home, which was released through RADA.
Yeah, was that an original song?
That was an original song. That's the first time I worked with RADA. They contacted me after hearing Battleships. And that's when I met all of the guys from the Hit Lab and the RADA team on the music side, Seven and Howie Combrink. And we wrote the song together. It was quite a fast process because, you know, there was a lot to get done for this album. And we've actually been working together since, because that RADA actually brought us together as a family. And now we're a musician family, and we can't get rid of each other.
So far out of all of the songs that you've written and sang, which one is your favorite to sing?
I have to say STFU at the moment. I have so much fun with it.
So give us a little demonstration.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
When I was 10, I learned how to sing. My sister was better than me, but I was seeing bigger pictures. My goals were getting clearer. Remember the times I couldn't make it, the photos I saw without me. Putting in the hours, putting in the hours. You be saying my name, you be saying my grade, you be throwing some shade. My Gucci jeans are made you nasty.
Woo! Yeah!
That's awesome.
It's a pleasure, listeners. That was so cool.
That was amazing.
We're taking risks here.
Yeah, taking risks, like you said.
Random question. What is next for you?
Definitely more music. That's for sure. I'm going to be releasing way more music because last year was a bit quiet for me. And I'm really excited to release some of the music I've been working on. It's very vulnerable. I'm going to be bearing out my whole soul, my whole life. And that's kind of empowering because I can say I'm owning everything that I'm doing, everything that's happening.
You have the decision factor on what you're doing.
And you're basically going to do a memoir of your life in song.
Pretty much. I mean, that's what a musician's whole life is, right? And then I'm doing a lot of shows. I'm working on doing an essay tour at the end of the year. So hopefully that all comes through.
Did you guys hear? Essay tour, end of the year. And who will be there? Let's Talk Showbiz.
Watch the space.
And that concludes our interview with our guest here in studio, Ashlinn Gray. Thank you so much for coming through. This now brings us time to our all-time favorite game, Oh Snap. So for those first-time listeners, every week our guests participate in a little game. They participate in a little game that we throw some random words at the guest for 60 seconds, and he or she has to answer with a relevant word as quick as possible and to get as many words as they can within 60 seconds.
Yes, so now remember, you cannot say pass.
Okay.
You have to answer.
Perfect.
If you answer wrong, so meaning you say something irrelevant to the word, or you take longer than 3 to 5 seconds, you'll be interrupted by an oh snap and you'll lose the point. So we're going to quickly demonstrate for you.
Okay, perfect. I'm ready. I'm listening.
Okay. Ashlinn Gray.
STFU.
Color.
Blue.
Brand Live.
Let's Talk Showbiz.
Perfect. Yeah,
Did
we
you?
used to do this in dramas. I'm ready.
Ah,
But I haven't done it in a few years, so I might be rusty.
Cool. So let's get that timer ready.
Oh
And
my
a
goodness, this is professional.
shout out to our winner from season 1, Josh Middleton.
Oh, we're good friends. I'm
Oh,
gonna
is it?
beat you, Josh.
Gonna beat him. Okay, cool.
Watch out.
Okay, you ready? Are you gonna say the word?
Yes.
Cool. 3, 2, 1, go.
Color.
Great.
2019.
Ashlinn Gray.
Film.
Let's Bohemian Rhapsody.
Water.
What? Sorry.
Water.
Water. Hydration.
Cold.
Hot.
Planet.
Mercury.
Board game.
Scrabble.
Favorite season: winter, spring, summer, autumn.
Spring.
Favorite drink:
Water.
transport.
Car.
Flower.
Orchid.
Airline.
Emirates.
Los Angeles.
Good weather.
Favorite artist.
Ashlinn Gray.
Sing the first song in your head.
I believe I can fly.
Sport.
Netball.
Fruit.
Apple.
Aura.
Aura.
Horror.
Horror. Terrifying.
Animal.
A cat.
Book.
Half of Yellow Sun.
Favorite food.
Salad.
Toothbrush.
Green.
Cell phone.
Apple.
Bag.
Gucci.
Socks.
Time's up.
Oh.
Time is up.
She went like really far.
Yeah,
That was scary.
You almost made it to the very
To
end.
the end. That was very scary.
I was starting to think of words now because I was thinking if
I
we
was like,
get.
we need to get more words in there.
I was thinking if we get to month, I'll have to
Yeah.
think of like some random words. Cause
Then you'd have to look around you and go, light, sign, microphone.
And that concludes our episode for today. Thank you so much, Ashlinn, for joining us in studio today right before you head back to the US.
Thanks so much for having me, guys. I had a lot of fun.
it's absolutely been lovely to hear more about your career, your awesome adventures, and the inspiring work that you do out there. Thank you for shedding an insightful scope on the industry, especially for those aspiring musicians and singers out there. For everyone out there, you can follow Ashlinn on social media.
Just do it.
Please correct me if I am wrong. It's on Facebook, Ashlinn Gray Music, on Instagram at Ashlinn Gray, and Twitter at Ashlinn Gray, and she's also on Spotify, iTunes Music, and Reverb Nation.
Just get the music.
And just remember, for those of you that don't know, Ashlinn is ASHLINN, and Gray is not GREY, it's GRAY.
So we'll also post that on our Facebook page. Be sure to follow it if you want to follow her. Her main website is www.ashlinngray.com, and you can also keep up to speed with the RADA-inspired campaign. Just visit their website at www.rada.co.za and follow them on social media and on Facebook at RADA-healing and on Twitter at RADA Healing.
And that is all we have for you folks. Thank you so much for joining us for the season 2 premiere of Let's Talk Showbiz. Tune in next Friday for more of the world of entertainment.
Exciting adventures await. Let's Talk Showbiz. # don't miss this.
Yes! Catch us live every Friday from 11:30 till 12:30, only here on Brand Live. Remember, you can get any of the missed episodes on Brand Live's YouTube channel. The quote for the day: know what sparks the light in you, and then use that light to illuminate the world.
Ah, beautiful. Yes, peeps, it's a good life. And if the world rains on your parade, don't forget to dance in the rain and make it one epic performance. # boss. Don't forget to love what you do and do what you love. Till next week, and ciao.
Ciao.
You do you.
You do you. You do you.
Hey.
Live from 27 boxes in the heart of Melville, this is brandlive.co.za.